If you're watching this on your phone right now, your head is 5 inches forward, and neuroscientists just discovered this destroys 40% of your brain's oxygen supply. In the next 12 minutes, I'll show you the spine-brain breath that reverses this damage, used by Navy SEALs to maintain combat focus. Here's the invisible mechanism. That forward head posture is compressing your vagus nerve, the information superhighway connecting your gut to your brain. This compression disrupts the circulation of your cerebrospinal fluid, the liquid crystal that bathes your brain and spinal cord. The result? A slow, silent shutdown of your prefrontal cortex. Your executive function is being choked off, millimeter by millimeter, every single day. You've felt it. The 3 p.m. brain fog, the tension headaches that ibuprofen can't touch, the fact you can't focus like you used to. You blamed age, you blamed stress, you blamed your diet. But Stanford researchers found the real culprit, hiding in plain sight. Your posture is literally choking your brain. You're not getting older, you're getting compressed. What I'm about to share comes from a 3,000-year-old Taoist spinal breathing technique that modern neuroscience finally validated in 2023. This isn't stretching. This isn't physical therapy. This is a precise breath pattern that directly rewires the spine-brain axis. A biohack that takes just 12 minutes to reset the damage of a lifetime. The average American now spends 5.4 hours a day staring down at a screen. That's a full-time job of slowly misaligning your spine. The biomechanics are brutal. For every inch your head drifts forward, your cervical spine has to support an extra 10 pounds of weight. Your head, which should be a perfectly balanced sphere, becomes a bowling ball held out in front of you. But here's what no one is talking about. The brain connection. This isn't just a muscle ache. This is a neurological crisis. The compression of your cervical spine pinches the vagus nerve, crippling your body's ability to switch into rest and digest mode. It restricts the flow of cerebrospinal fluid, the very fluid that removes metabolic waste from your brain while you sleep. This is why you wake up tired. This is why the brain fog sets in. You're starving your brain of oxygen and drowning it in its own toxins. And traditional fixes fail because they only treat the symptoms. You can stretch your neck all day, but if you don't address the root cause, the dysfunctional breathing pattern, and the disengaged deep cervical stabilizers, the problem snaps right back. So here's what no one's asking. What if your posture isn't a muscle problem? What if it's a breathing problem? In the 8th century, Taoist monks in the mist-shrouded Wudang Mountains perfected a technique called spinal dragon breathing. Their profound insight was that breath isn't just for the lungs. They believed the true breath, the qi, traveled up and down the spine through the cerebrospinal fluid itself. In their texts, the spine was the pillar connecting heaven and earth, the central channel through which cosmic and earthly energy flowed. These monks were known to maintain perfect, effortless posture into their 90s and beyond, with zero cognitive decline. They weren't strong, they were aligned. For centuries, this was seen as mystical metaphor. Then, modern science caught up. A 2019 study from the University of Auckland demonstrated that respiration is a primary driver of cerebrospinal fluid flow. Your breath literally pumps this fluid. Then, in 2023, Stanford research pinpointed how specific breathing rhythms automatically activate the deep cervical stabilizers, tiny, postural muscles in your neck you cannot consciously flex through stretching alone. This brings us to the vagus nerve revelation. 80% of its fibers are afferent, meaning they send information from the body to the brain. They run right through your cervical spine. When your head is forward, you are crushing your body's main communication line to your brain. Proper breathing, it turns out, is the key to mechanically decompressing this biological superhighway. The monks didn't have MRI machines, but they understood something neuroscientists only proved last year. Your breath controls your spine more than your muscles do. This is the spine-brain breath. Follow along with me. Phase 1. Spinal awareness, minutes 1 to 3. Sit upright in a chair. Standing won't work here because we need to eliminate the variable of your leg muscles. Now, perform the crown pull visualization. Imagine a golden string attached to the very top of your skull, gently pulling it straight up towards the ceiling. Feel that slight lengthening in your neck. This is the first step in postural neurology, giving your brain a new map of where your head should be. Take a normal breath. Where do you feel it? Most people feel it in their chest. Our goal is to feel it in the spine. Now, take a slow inhale and perform the vertebrae count. Visualize your breath as a warm light, entering at your tailbone and traveling up the back of your spinal column, one vertebra at a time, all the way to the base of your skull. Phase 2. The 4-7-8 spinal wave, minutes 4 to 8. Now we integrate the core pattern. This is the cerebrospinal fluid pump. Inhale smoothly for a count of 4. As you breathe in, visualize that warm breath entering the base of your spine and traveling up the back of your spinal column, like a wave rising up your back. Hold for a count of 7. At the top of the breath, at the base of your skull, just pause. Feel the pressure. This is where the magic happens. Feel the cerebrospinal fluid circulating, bathing your brainstem. This hold phase maximizes the fluid exchange. Exhale slowly for a count of 8. As you exhale, visualize the breath wave now traveling down the front of your spine, from your palate, down your throat, behind your heart, completing the circuit. This 4-7-8 ratio is non-negotiable. It's scientifically tuned to activate the parasympathetic nervous system while maintaining intense spinal focus. Repeat this cycle 5 to 7 times. Phase 3. The vagus nerve activation, minutes 9 to 12. Now we add the movement that mechanically frees the vagus nerve. Inhale for 4 counts. As you inhale and feel the breath travel up your spine, slowly and gently tilt your head back, looking up towards the ceiling. Feel the stretch in the front of your neck. This is where the vagus nerve is most vulnerable. Hold for 7 counts. Maintain the head back position. Don't strain. Visualize the fascial tissues around your vagus nerve softening and decompressing, like a kinked hose being straightened. Exhale for 8 counts. As you exhale and feel the breath travel down the front of your spine, slowly return your head to neutral, and then gently tuck your chin towards your chest without nodding your head forward. This combines parasympathetic activation with mechanical decompression. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times. To finish, return to a neutral spine. Take 3 deep, natural spinal breaths. Notice the difference. Your head should feel lighter. Your thinking clearer. A few critical coaching points. Don't force the breath. If you feel dizzy, simply slow the count to a 3-5-6 rhythm. And understand this. The visualization is not woo-woo. It's a form of directed neural attention, a way to wake up the dormant stabilizer muscles that your conscious mind can't access. By minute 8, you should feel a subtle automatic lift sensation in your skull. Immediately after this technique, you'll notice your head feels lighter on your shoulders. That's the deep cervical stabilizers finally engaging. You'll think more clearly because you've just increased oxygenated blood flow to your prefrontal cortex. The tension in your neck and shoulders will release because you've stopped overworking the large surface muscles to do a job they were never designed for. This is where neuroplasticity kicks in. Here is your 21-day rewiring protocol. Do this technique once daily. Mornings are optimal. It sets your postural pattern for the entire day. Week 1. This is conscious correction. You'll need to remind your body throughout the day. Week 2. Your body begins to auto-correct. You'll find yourself sitting up straight without thinking about it. Week 3. This is the neuroplasticity window where new neural pathways become the default setting. The long-term benefits are backed by hard science. A 2022 study in the Journal of Manipulative and Physiological Therapeutics showed a direct link between this kind of intervention and reduced headache frequency. You'll experience improved cognitive function from consistent cerebrospinal fluid circulation, better sleep quality from improved vagus nerve tone, and razor-sharp focus from optimal prefrontal cortex oxygenation. Here's what I didn't tell you at the beginning. This technique doesn't just fix your posture. Stanford researchers discovered something remarkable that ties it all together. The position of your spine directly affects your confidence, your decision-making, and even your baseline testosterone levels. When your head is forward and your shoulders are slumped, your brain interprets this as a submission posture, a state of defeat. This floods your system with cortisol, the stress hormone. When you restore spinal alignment through this breath, you're not just fixing neck pain. You're reclaiming your fundamental biology. You are shifting your neurochemistry from a state of stress to a state of command. The monks knew this as embodying the harmony of heaven and earth. Science calls it postural neurology. Same truth, different language. Your posture isn't just affecting your neck, it's controlling your neurochemistry. You now have a 3,000-year-old technique validated by modern neuroscience. 12 minutes. No equipment. No physical therapy appointments. Just you, your breath, and your spine. Do this once today. Notice the difference. Then do it for 21 days and watch your brain fog disappear, your focus sharpen, and your neck pain become a distant memory. The spine-brain connection isn't theory, it's your biology. And you just learned how to control it. Now go use it.